Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Live in the Rise. We are here again today. We are live in the Rise again today. I wanted to go. Um, Yesterday, I tried to record my live and then play it, edit it and put it on. It's too much time, it's too time consuming. I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and when it comes to this particular activity that I'm doing, I find that it's I have to find a way to do it as simple as possible. And simple for me is going live like this, where I don't have to record it. YouTube does it for me. It's recorded, and then you can go and return to look at it. So, um, yeah, I tried to do that yesterday. I tried to go to do my psalm, and I didn't even get to do that. So I'm gonna, just basically have this moment. And today, today's theme, today's theme for today is, goodness, I don't know where to begin with the theme, because I don't know where to begin with the theme. We had Saturday. Saturday, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, I think it was Saturday. Um, I got an alert on my phone. Thanks for liking this video. Thank you so much. I got an alert on my phone that Angie Stone, may she rest in blessed power, um, was in a car accident and passed away. Angie Stone. And when I saw that, my heart was broken. Thank you for liking the video. Hi again. And I told a friend of mine on the phone, I was telling my friend that this had happened, and their response was, oh, it must be AI. I think I heard. Their response wasn't, oh, my condolences. I didn't know. Oh my gosh, what's happened? You know, but their response was a doubting of what I was telling them. And you sure have time. Blessed Rise, Chawa. Thank you for joining. Thanks so much for being here. So we are taking a pause to acknowledge the life of Angie Stone. And when someone tells you something about something that has happened to someone, try to put yourself aside and listen to the person and what they're telling you. And don't add in, oh, I heard this or I heard that or whatever. Just listen to the person. And sometimes we don't do that because we're flooded with so much information. So much information. We think it's AI. We think it's, made up. So when I looked at the report this morning on the news about Angie Stone, she was driving her team was driving from Atlanta to Alabama of some sort. And there was an accident, and everybody in the vehicle survived except for her. So earlier when I told my friend this, my friend didn't, I guess, thought it was AI. I don't know what, but if I'm telling you something, I mean, what the heck? Am I look like an AI? So anyway, later on, my friend texted me, Angie Stone passed away. I'm like, didn't I tell you that? And you did not think that that was so? So anyway, When, I'm trying to find the theme for today. What is the theme today? What is going to be the theme? And the theme today is how, and I didn't even look at what the psalm today is 121. Powerful psalm. So I'm going to go from that in creating the theme. So my strength comes from righteousness. That's where my strength comes from. Okay. And oftentimes people get their strength from AI. They get their strength not, from AI, but they get their strength from outside information instead of tapping inside, right? We have a tendency, and sometimes people can be bullies. They can be bullies, unknowingly bullies. And when someone tells you something about someone in the celebrity world or whatever, and you have heard false rumors about them in the past, that's the past. This is now we are talking about. Okay. So don't take what somebody is telling you and then spin your own thing on it based on what you've heard in the past. Listen to a person and what they're telling you, and value that. Oftentimes we see that little conversations can be clues into how someone values you, values your statements, values what you're speaking of, and this can be revealed in those little moments of conversation. So with that being said, it is important for today's psalm that I come live. I was going to record this and set a premiere for this, but I decided to come live because of the fact that Mrs. Stone passed away in a car accident, and she was targeted. Bottom line, she was targeted. She was targeted because she stood up against the music industry. And every time you do that, guess what? You're going to go down. Look at Whitney Houston. Look at these folks. So Shaka Khan talks about it. Shaka Khan talks about it in her interviews about the music industry. Very demonic. So we have, a demonic entities that exist, that infiltrate themselves into people, into human beings. And it's important to control your space. Don't let just anyone into your space, especially when there's a lack of value in what you're speaking of or what you're talking about. And sometimes you have to be alone. Sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to find yourself alone because you have a different perspective and you have a difference in how you want to be valued. People value you in different ways, but how do you want to be valued? So our theme today is, where does your help come from? Where does your strength come from? Where does it come from? So in the psalm today, it's Psalm 121. That is one of my favorite psalms. That's the psalm when I'm feeling in a way, I chant that psalm. Hi, Ivan. Hi. How are you all today? I am from the USA. Unfortunately, I'm from the USA. Okay. Where are you from? Tell me where you are tuning in from. I have 7 people looking at me right now. 7 of you are somewhere in the world. So tell me where you're watching from. Where are you watching from? Are you in the USA? Ivan, we don't use the word hello. So say hi, say greetings. Hell is low. I don't want to go. Rick! Hi, Rick. How are you? Australia. We're coming in from down under. Look at that, all the way from Australia. Thank you, Rick, for telling us where you're watching from. Thank you so much. Wave. That's why I prefer to go live instead of recording and then posting it. It gets it's I prefer the live audience. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my time. I've been working on a grant, two big grants. Oh my goodness, it's just been woo, something else. We, moving into a space of purpose, moving into a space of purpose. That's a good thing. Moving into a space of purpose. So the Psalm today is 121. Okay, so our theme is where do you get your strength from? Where's your strength ultimately from? Okay, it could be from food, medicine, what? Where do you get your strength from? So when we look at the Psalm today, I want to look at the word. As you see, I'm yawning because I'm telling you, when I rest, I really rest. I'm like, and then when I'm up, I'm all this energy. So the words today is protection. Protection for March 3rd, protection. So our word today, protection, is brought to us today by Hebrews. Hebrews pops up again. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6. So we can speak with confidence and assuredness that righteousness is a helper, is a strengthener. I will not be afraid. Okay, what can anyone do to me? They can take my credit. They can take my house. They can take my car. They can take my this. They can take my life even. But you cannot take what's inside of me that lives on. Okay, this is just a vessel, an avatar that we are using in our journey to fulfill our purpose. So what can you really take? Should I be afraid? Okay, I'm getting ready to go on the airplane. I don't trust, I never did. Look at what happened to Angie Stone. She was in a van driving from one place to the next. You would think that would be safe. Here comes an 18-wheeler, boom, flipped the car over, and that was the end of the story. So Kansas City in the house, Stephen, El Sue in the house, wishing wellness to all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephen. You're in the USA, Kansas City. I have a good friend in Kansas City. Yep, Kansas City in the house. Thank you, Stephen Dozenberry. So that's Hebrews. Hebrews is supporting the Psalm today. Where does your strength come from? And Hebrews is talking about that righteousness is your strength. That is what you pull from. You pull from the righteous tree. You pull from the good soil because you are that good soil. Thank you for liking this video. Oh my goodness. I receive it. I receive it. I am open to receiving true love that is unadulterated and respectfully for the upliftment of what I'm talking about and my business of promoting positivity for children and families to support them. So if you're not about that, don't come at me. Okay, bottom line. If you're not about supporting children and families and supporting what I'm doing, don't come at me. I shout out to my good friends who they've sent me my friend sent me $100, and then I got another $200, and then I got $180. So my friend is putting their money where their mouth is, whatever you want to say, and supporting what I'm doing, and supporting in terms of not just monetary support, but guess what? Love. Thank you, Stephen. Showing love. David, Mark, David, Mark David's in the house. Ho, ho, ho. Hi, Mark. I have to extend excitement when I see friendly faces, because guess what? The Psalm today talks about there's not a lot of friendly faces. So Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for tuning in to Live in the Rise. I am grateful. I'm thankful, actually, that we could be able to come together in this space and really unpack the word, that it can lift us up. It can benefit us in ways that can make us better people, especially better people in our relationships, better people in the way that we live with one another and how we respond to one another and how we value each other. Okay? So I created a song for Live in the Rise. This is it. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. That's kind of a little. I created that. It's called Rise Up. Okay, we got to rise up. Rise up to the occasion. We're not going to sit this one out. We're rising up to this one. Okay. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. That's rise up. We got to rise up. So I wanted to start with, and I have the verse of the day. The verse of the day, I don't know what that is today, but the word today is protection. And with the word today, this is my word to today's song. It's the word of the day. 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 Word of the day. Word of the day. Protection. Protection. Trusting in righteousness's protecting presence, I live with quiet assuredness. So I have to trust in the protection of a higher force, because there's a low demonic force that is trying to destroy people and the anointed ones of the Most High. They're coming in for an attack. They're not attacking the ones who is gone astray. They don't need to attack them. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, the devil business, the demonic business. They don't want those folks. They want the anointed ones, the ones who are standing firm for righteousness and not falling for the foolishness, right? When you stand for something, you're not going to fall for anything, okay? So the word today, protection, I ask that these words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable to what is right. It may not be acceptable to you, but I'm asking that it is acceptable to what is righteous. So the protecting presence of righteousness, that's God within, is stronger than doubt. It's stronger than doubt. When people doubt what I'm telling them and they want to bring in other narratives into what I'm talking about, guess what? The protecting presence of righteousness within is stronger than that, stronger than doubt, larger than obstacles, more powerful than adversaries. I return that truth whenever I feel myself pulled into fearful or worrisome thinking. I return my awareness again and again to the peace, the tranquility rather, and power of righteousness. Because there's power in good, I'm telling you. I do what I can to ensure I and I safety in the world. I am aware of surroundings that I'm around, and I'm appropriately cautious. However, I don't let the precautions diminish how I experience life. So the planes are falling out the sky. They're coming after God's anointed ones. Guess what? I'm not going to be afraid and let that diminish my ability to experience life. When worries and fears arise, I pause, reset, and rest in the sacredness, protecting presence, the power of righteousness within. When you go to rest at night, you may have somebody laying next to you, but guess what? You're going within yourself, closing your eyes and going within yourself. That person is not going with you where you go when you rest, right? So I live with confidence, with assuredness that I will do all I am called to do with purpose. With purpose. Finding purpose in your existence, and not just as a slave to your job and to your job, okay? But what is your true purpose? Some people work a 9-to-5 job, but their purpose is painting. They're an artist, but they have to work in order to pay the light bill, in order to pay the this, to pay the this, to exist. So when we are called with a purpose, it is more than monetary. It is more than material. So what is your purpose? Where does your strength come from? That's the theme today. What is your strength? Where does it come from? What is your purpose? How do you look at your protection? Okay. Stephen, drop a word on the comments for Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. We lift you up. We have the word. And remember, the word became flesh and was crucified because of standing in the word. And the word, as long as we have the word, that demon has no power over us. Love to you too, Stephen, through the righteousness that is the Lord. So when I call on God, Lord, and Jesus, Jehovah, I'm calling on righteousness. I'm calling on goodness and mercy and love and kindness and forgiveness and the honorable sacredness of that oneness that I so desire to be a part of. And that's our word today, protection, brought to us by Hebrews 13, chapter 6. I love it, protection. That is our word today. So we're 24 minutes in, and I'm moving very quickly through because of the time. So I wanted to share our daily communication today, March 3rd, daily communication for women for March 3rd. Daily communication, daily communication, daily communication to righteousness for women. So, daily communication to righteousness for women. Today is day 63. We are 63 days into the 365-day calendar of the Gregorian calendar. I don't use that calendar, but because I teach with that calendar, I'm using it now. I am on a 13-month calendar, but this is 12 months. So 365 days for daily communication to righteousness for women. So here we go. Let's see what it says. Get my light. I'm 55 years old and I don't need glasses to read. I have strengthened my eyes, so I don't need that glasses to read, but I need my little reading light. See? My little reading light so I can look at the words. So for today, day 63, the daily communication to righteousness for women, or as Stephen calls, to the Lord. It's brought to us today by Proverbs 29, verse 23. And Proverbs 29, verse 23 is about don't be prideful. Don't be full of pride that you can't apologize. Don't be full of pride that you are hiding from someone that you need to speak to. Don't be full of pride that you cannot say that you were wrong. So one's pride will bring one's self low. However, one who is lowly in righteousness will obtain honor. So, Proverbs, you got to kind of dissect what it's talking about because it's a proverb. What it means is your pride is going to bring you low to the flow. You're going to be low. But when you have righteousness and you are in that, you're going to obtain honor. So the communication to righteousness reads, Dear Lord, my pride has been my downfall in the past. There have been times when I didn't listen to others or felt I knew better and ignored their wise advice. Grant I the strength to put aside my ego and do what you want me to do. Amen. And in Selah and Selah again. That was daily communication to righteousness for women. I love that. Oh my goodness. Selah and Selah again on that one. Oh my gosh. I want to look now at the word, actually the verse of the day. Let's get that one going. The verse of the day. 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 So let's look at the verse of the day, shall we? And the verse of the day is coming from Isaiah. Isaiah is my guy. Isaiah 55. Isaiah, I love you too. I have a relationship with the Most High. It is like the relationship I have with the Most High is like a child and their dad or their mom or something. And the relationship with the Most High, I can talk to the Most High any way I want to. I can be any way I want to. But however, within that relationship, I'm able to find different nuances within the relationship, such as this one. When I open the verse of the day, here is Isaiah 55, and Isaiah is my guy. So it's like, people say God is humorous. This is what I feel as an anointed one happens. So as we look at the verse today, Isaiah 55 verse 9, it speaks of, today is March. I'm going further on. March 2nd for today. So it's from Isaiah 55 verse 9, and I love that. As the heavens are higher than the earth. So it's a comparison. So the heavens are known to be higher than the earth, right? So are my ways than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So my ways, not the Most High's ways, the Most High ways are higher than mine. So when I'm communicating to someone and talking, right? I am not talking from my own self. I am talking from, my friend is texting me. I'm talking from a higher perspective. So the ways that are my ways are not higher than the Most High ways. You know what I mean? And my thoughts are not as high as the Most High thoughts. So Isaiah is talking about this through the Most High. Like this is, and it's verse 8 and 9 actually. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So, whatever thoughts you got, whatever ways you got, guess what? There is a higher way and a higher thought. That's what you seek for, not for the news of this world and what's going on. The information chain in the world is not where you go to seek for information when it comes to higher thinking and higher being. So that was our verse today. I love that. That was our verse today, and it is amazing. I love it. I love the verse of the day because it gives us a good I look at it as an revelatory kind of insight into who we are and where do we get our strength from. So in the psalm today, Psalm 121, I have to read the psalm today, 121, because it's aligning with Isaiah, it's aligning with our word protection, and it's aligning with our theme that is, where do you get your strength from? Where does that come from? So in Psalm 121, I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right. And it begins with where you lift your eyes up to. Okay. Where do you lift your eyes up to? And the beginning of this psalm, verse 1 speaks, I lift my eyes to the hills. Where are the hills? Are the hills low or is it high? So you got to seek for what's above. And in misunderstandings, you have to still seek for what's above. A misunderstanding isn't really a misunderstanding. It's a misinterpretation of the higher calling of God. And when God is not in the midst of conversations and communication, you're going to have misunderstandings and misinterpretations. So oftentimes I find that when that happens is because I'm not speaking with someone that is putting the higher, one above the communication or their feelings. So we have to get to a place where we can have that relationship with the Most High. That has to be the ultimate. And sometimes we don't know who the Most High is because we're looking outside of ourselves. The Most High is inside of you. You and you. That's where that love lives. That true, honest integrity of love lives inside of you. So where the question in verse 1, you lift up your eyes to the hills, but from where does your strength come from? It comes from righteousness that made the heaven and the earth. And righteousness is being called God, is being called Lord, is being called Jesus. Angie Stone, who passed away, may the righteousness of the living God lift her up into a place where she is free from the physical flesh and the demonic music industry that has kept her in bondage. She's free. She's free. We have her songs. She has left us a legacy of music, and we're going to keep that for all the days that we have left here. So in Psalm 121, the answer comes in verse 2. My strength comes from righteousness, right? And in verse 3, that righteousness will not let I foot to be moved. Like I'm not going to fall down. I'm not going to fall. That's why I always talk about stand in love, don't fall in it. Stand in it. So righteousness is not going to let my foot to be moved, nor will righteousness that keeps I and I safe will not slumber. Okay? Righteousness doesn't slumber. Okay? And the one beloved, the beholder of righteousness, keeps I and I. It's not, doesn't slumber nor sleep. Remember that people tell God don't sleep. God don't slumber. God is awake. Yes, look, it's a spreading of the word, Stephen. Okay, we're spreading the word throughout creation. Who gets it, catches it, and gets it, gets it. Who doesn't, it's gonna just pass aside on them. And you better watch out. You don't want to get caught sleeping. So in verse 5, righteousness is a keeper. That's a keeper. You know, people say, you're a keeper. Righteousness is my keeper. That's who keeps me. Okay? I'm in 20 degrees inside of an apartment because I can't afford the heat bill. So I'm inside an apartment freezing. Okay? But guess who keeps me? Righteousness keeps me. I don't have somebody I can call, say, can you pay this bill for me because I don't have any I don't have any heat and I'm cold. I don't have no. It's me. I am the one, right? The support I get and the donations I get is for my children's summer program and to help that. I don't take from that to go and pay my electric bill. So I will do without so that my children can have what they need, the children that I serve. So that's what I do. I sacrifice. And sometimes we don't sacrifice. I have a good friend of mine, Annie Worth. Hi, Annie, who sent me $75, I think, from my, I think it was on Venmo. Was it Venmo? Somewhere. And she always sends something for me every year to help me with books for children and to help me in terms of, I can't help children if I'm not helped. If I don't have electricity to heat my place up, if I don't have food to eat to sustain myself, how am I going to help children? So when I am giving donations, it's to help me to help my children. So the righteousness that we talk about is a keeper, and is the shade on your right hand. It's the shade on your righteousness. The sun is not going to strike you during the day, nor the moon during the night. Okay? Righteousness is going to keep you from all evil, and it's going to keep your life safe, and it's going to keep you going out and coming in from this time forth and forevermore. Selah and Selah again. It's going to keep you. That's the Psalm today. That's the Psalm today. Psalm 121, one of my favorite Psalms, as we look at the theme today of who is your strength? Where do you get your strength from? Where do you get your strength from? Where is it coming from? So that has been our time, everybody. It's been our time. Thank you so much for joining Chanta Sama Day. So we did our verse today. We did the word today, protection. The verse today from Isaiah. And we did our psalm today. Thanks for joining and have a great rest of your day. Oh my goodness. Have a great rest of your day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Remember, stand in love, don't fall in it. Okay, let me see what I'm getting here in my text messages. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care. Remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it.